Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Thank you for coming in and watching and subscribing and liking and sharing. I appreciate it so much. Today, I am going to talk about investing. And we always talk about investing as part of money. And we all know that, you know, living a rich life, you have to invest. And you have to start investing as soon as you understand what investing is, because the interest in that is such a major impact in your life financially that we often do not translate that to our personal lives, our lives in general, on how the concepts of money. So I've learned along the way, teaching myself and learning from others who have taught in the aspects of money on what spending is like, what interest is. And I want to share some of that with you. And and in fact, interest is one of the three money concepts I would teach anyone earning money for the first time. The other two are spending extravagantly on what you love and cutting costs on things you don't. And then automation. Automation changed my life. But here's some things most people don't know. Compounding or interest works in all areas of your life. Successful people know this and it always works for them. So I'm going to give you some what it means to have a rich life. I read an academic paper um, about interest and how it works and how to compound it, not just as it relates to money, but as it relates to other parts of our lives. And these studies have found that compounding or having interest in life works similarly to compound interest with money. So here are a couple of examples. Number one, invest in yourself. This means investing in courses, conferences, and so on and so on and so on, because it increases your investment in yourself and it can pay off dramatically as it adds to your skill set. See, we don't really think that. We think that we can learn something all by ourselves. And years ago, I learned I'm not skilled at everything. So I have to share and say, okay, you do this because I'm not skilled at that. And I honed my skill that I was great at. I went to courses, conferences, learned more, learned and kept learning until what I know just rolls off my tongue without a script. And dramatically, even if I don't know anything or know that some part of what I know, which is totally real estate and totally coaching other people. If I find something that I don't know, I am easy to absorb it and add it to what I already my skill set that I already know. So many people don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to put out the money because they don't think you're going to get it back. Well, you put money out when you go to the store to buy a, let's say, Starbucks $5 or $6 cup of coffee. And that's every day. And you put money out um, on your credit card, which is interest that you bought groceries with, which you shouldn't have, but you put that out. Um, you miss out on opportunities because you don't have that skill set, which you knew somebody that could give that to you. You didn't do it. So all of that, you still need to invest in yourself. Those things are investments. Conferences, coaches, you know, every rich person that lives a rich life has a coach in every area of their lives. Not for everything and not for all times, but they have a coach. Okay? They have someone that will coach them through whatever issue that they seem to struggle with. Stop struggling and invest in yourself. Number two, invest in your body of work Become better at what you do by spending more time, even outside of work, learning about your product, learning about your industry, and making friends in that expert field. See, that's what I do. I learn more about what I know, and I spend more time with those, even in my line of work. I locate those that have the same or know a little more than me in my work. So I can learn from them. I'm always learning. So I'm learning parts of my industry. I'm focused on learning about the product. I can't support something I don't know anything about. I can't say I'm an industry expert when I don't know anything about it. And I can't say or talk to someone else about my industry if I don't have friends in there, if I don't have anyone in that field to call up and say, what about this? I'm getting stuck here. Our issue is our ego when it comes down to not investing in ourselves. It's a big ego problem. And whether you like it or not, it's about, I know everything. You may not say that you know everything, but you're feeling it, you're vibrating it because you're not investing in yourself and you're not investing in the body of work that you do. Number three, invest in social network. Go to the lunch with some VIPs. I, I pride myself on every day or at least once a week, I'm talking to 5 people that I can get an appointment with, that I can sit with, that I can talk to, that I can have a conversation with in the industry to share about what I know. So if I come across their mind, I am the one that Edna is the one I know. So go out to lunch with a VIP. I do one per week. At the end of 5 years, you know more than 250 VIPs. At the end of 10 years, you'll know more than 500. Do you know what kind of benefits that network will give you? Well, try it. Try making 5 calls per week, getting a phone call or a Zoom call or a date for lunch and talk with them. 5. And then sit with a VIP, someone call them up, who's a VIP in their industry that works in line with your skill set. Sit with them for lunch. You'll be the wiser, and you'll benefit more in your network. Number 4, invest in your social skills. Here we go. I learned this one from being a super, super, super critical to myself. Because at one point, I was not that I was a quiet individual, but I figured if they wanted to talk to me, they'd talk to me. And that quickly changed when I had to, in my business, had to make friends or make colleagues. So I set out to learn all I could, how to use my tonality, my smile, how to dress better, and so on, how to look better. I'm not saying I'm going to look like, I don't know, one of the models. I'm saying that I had to awaken the style in me. So I had to wake up my own style, my own personality, and I had to wake it up and shake it up and so that you know, it could be better. I had a very monotone tonality. And once I went to China and learned everything is tonality, I quickly changed that around. So smiling is, I always believed a smile would gain, 1 mile over a frown. I had to learn that I had to dress not like everyone else, but that made me comfortable. And people saw that, hey, her vibe is great, even though she has this on or that on. And it was like they don't even pay attention to the clothes because they see my vibe and what I'm comfortable in, I serve people better in. And so on and so on. This is a dramatic acceleration for me and my business, personal relationships, confidence, and more. Every area of your life. Those 3 things can change. So here's my question for you. What are your skills that you're building right now that you can gain interest over time? What are the skills that you're not building that are atrophying, that you're not using and they're going to waste? What are some of, here are some of the recommended work to work on now. I'm going to give you something to work on today. So get your pens and your pad, or get your, I love this, get your remarkable and write this down. Okay, so if you can start at any of these today, I want you to do that. Start on your personal network, social skills, dressing better or comfortably to you, becoming socially fluent, going to conferences in your field, in person or virtually, and even giving presentations, that's what I should say. Here's a tip. You don't have to know what those dividends will look like. You don't have to know exactly how it's going to pay off for you, but you need to be focusing on the skills that will pay off over time rather than ones that will only be short term and won't last the test of time. I invest in myself heavily. I typically over a year invest about maybe 10 to 20,000 in courses, conferences, books, and meeting interesting people. But I'm also inevitably positioned at being investing in myself. And then I report back. I report back to you guys on the best insights I learn about what I learn about myself. So looking back on my life, one of the biggest regrets is not investing more earlier. That's because of interest. Investing over time and let it build, the interest build and compound, you gain the money, the skills, and freedom to live a rich life. The best time to start was years ago for me, but the second best time is right now. Another way you can invest in yourself is learning more about your mental framework. And when I mean mental framework, I mean what you're thinking over time, what you're wasting your time on thinking. I've studied top performers for years. I've had lunches with them, and I've learned that different mental frameworks that most people have. And that's what helps their compound their efforts. This includes all kinds of people like best-selling authors, CEOs, celebrities, top entertainers, um, champion athletes, world-class negotiators, people that are making $200,000 or more in great positions. I went through the painstaking process of discovering and testing and producing the minds and producing these mindsets and understanding what really the rich life is. I share that framework um, that will help you go from thinking negative to positive, from scarcity to abundance, from low confidence to supreme confidence. I share them in my coaching. In my coaching sessions, I share them. In what is going to be a great book, I share in the four pillars. I want you to be included in all of that just by taking my coaching classes or joining in as a group. If you have a group of people that you know that want to think more positive, want to go from scarcity to abundance, and have low confidence and want to have supreme confidence, let's get a group together and let's all grow together to have a rich life, an abundant life. This is Edna J. White signing off, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Watch it all the way through. Share it with someone else you know, And let's get back to having a good life, a better life. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.